I think ever since the first game came out, Barry always had that label of the comedic character, particularly with his line reads from the original actor. And I think that Ed really took that in his performance. There are a couple of times where you can see him give an homage to, the lines that have become so infamous. You almost fit into a sandwich, or the very subtle hint at the Master of Unlocking. But he also really brought out the warmth in Barry, where he became the father figure, and you knew that he wanted to protect Jill, and he wanted to protect Chris, and you felt that connection in the two of them, which was established earlier on in the storyline. For doing a remake, Peter gave a great balance to Wesker's character. Whether or not you had played the original game or not, if you were coming into this new, you didn't know that Wesker was the villain, quote-unquote villain of the series. So he hadn't adopted that identity yet. And Peter took that and kind of gave Wesker the voice of this no-nonsense, strict commander, but there was always that edge there, so you didn't know whether or not you could trust him. In later games, voice actors like Richard Waugh and DC Douglas, the villain element is very, very prominent. And Peter really didn't do that until the reveal, depending upon who you're playing as, the reveal with Jill and Barry or the reveal with Chris and Rebecca. And at that point, he did bring out that smug, victorious little twinge to Wesker. And I loved that. You know, if you were coming into the series and you didn't know, it was this nice little surprise. And you can hear in his voice, in some of his final lines, just how much he's loving being that jerk. As tough as the character is, and as gung-ho as he is in this game, and as he would be in later games like Dark Side Chronicles, Resident Evil 5, Chris did have that power, and Joe kept that in there. But I love that he also kept this kind of light innocence. If you go down the game line, Chris has gone through so much and continues to go through so much that he develops this very hard edge in his voice, like you hear in Roger Craig Smith's performance. But Joe, while, still keeping the disciplined soldier and the seriousness of the situation, there was still more of this boyish tone and this confusion of what was going on around him, which I think definitely toughened him up, especially when he moved on in Code Veronica and saw everything that was happening there. So it was nice to have this youthful element to Chris and the uncertainty there. But he was still, he still was going to go forward. He was going to find out everything that was happening. My name is Katie Haynes. I live in Chicago, Illinois. My Skype name is Gabriel's Angel or Katie Gangel, depending upon where you call me from. And I am a Resident Evil fan. Love you guys.